All right, John?
Yes.
Okay, I have the recorder running to get, the whole call. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of the whole thing. All right? Now, what is it that you're... First off, what is it that you're claiming?
Well, what am I claiming?
Yes.
I was asking David Keene questions about things that he has said and things that he's been accused of doing, and my suspicion based upon those issues as well as my own personal experience with the ACU and CPAC led me to have great suspicions about the ethics and sincerity of David Keene's commitment to the conservative movement.
Okay.
As opposed to his own personal and economic agendas.
Right. Okay, but based on what evidence?
Based on what evidence? I asked him about three basic things.
Right.
The three basic things I asked him about, which are all clearly in the videotape, were his statements about Sarah Palin that I believe were not justified by the facts.
Right.
And inappropriate for someone of his position in the conservative movement. Number two.
His statement is this. Let me read it to you. Because what you didn't do is read any statements to him. Here's his quote. Yes.
Did you not watch the beginning of the tape? I quoted to him exact phrases that he used to describe
Well, if I
Sarah
could,
Palin.
let me read the statement so we're clear. I mean, this is another interview. You've got to recognize that there are people who want you to fail, Keene says. And if you spend your time worrying about them or whining about what they say, at the very least it'll get you off your game because you ought to be worried about what you're going to do, not about what they're going to do to you. End quote.
What does this have to do with what I asked him?
Well, you said you accused him of saying...
I never said he never said anything. First of all, I don't know why that quote that you're using is even relevant. I mean, he's basically advising her, scolding her there. Well,
you accused him of saying she was whining.
But what is your question? I'm here to answer your question. What is your question?
Well, do you feel that quote that seems to be the basis of your charge in the video that he was calling her a whiner?
No, you have no idea. You apparently have no idea what you're talking about, because if you go back to the beginning of the video, I'm very clear. I quote several different phrases that Keene used that I believe were far more likely to be used by Keith Olbermann than by a conservative leader.
Were they
Sarah Palin?
Were they
that,
okay? All right.
Specifically about a couple of them to back them up, which I don't believe he was able to do.
Okay.
But
all right.
So what is your
Fair
next
enough.
question?
Well, you accused him of being involved in pay to play. And at one point you held up money and waved it at him later.
I believe that there is more than enough reason to suspect that that's the way that he and CPAC and the ACU do things.
Okay,
I believe the evidence is overwhelming.
How do you feel about this, okay, as a reporter now? Because I'm just telling you something. I watched your video, something I reacted poorly to. You went from saying that he was engaged in pay per play.
I don't remember saying that.
Well,
I remember asking, or certainly, I believe the conversation began when I made a reference to, or he thought I made a reference to him being paid for his Sarah Palin comments, which I clearly don't believe he was paid by anybody to make his statement.
Well, but you accused him of that because you said you
to the Federal Express allegations in the Politico article, as well as some things in the 2003 National Review article, as well as as some of my own knowledge of the way.
Yeah, okay, but I'm only talking.
CPAC works.
John, I want to talk about. John, I want to talk about facts that we can.
From ACU or CPAC, you pay for it. That's pretty clear.
Oh, okay. That's the way you feel about it.
No. It's not how I feel about it. It's what I.
It's what you.
Myself
John.
And what other people have reported.
Well, who reported it? Who reported it? The Politico?
The Politico was one source.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. If the Politico reports something on Sarah Palin, does that make it true?
No, but here's...
No. Hey, let me ask some questions, John. So if they report negatively on Sarah Palin, it's a lie, but if they report negatively on ACU, it's right.
No, never said that.
Well, then what if I told you now that...
However, what I asked David Keene about, what I focused on in my questioning, other than the general issue, was the specifics of a letter about which there is no ambiguity that comes from his chief deputy.
Yeah, I have it in front of me, John.
Right.
So I don't see the point. I'm not questioning that.
Because you don't seem to have any understanding of the nature of ethics and the problems that arise from offers of what is called pay for play.
Well, it wasn't
clearly.
No, I think
clearly, and based upon the way that CPAC obviously works, there's no other interpretation of that than, hey, we are offering you David Keene's op-ed opinion as part of our package if you pay us a certain amount of money.
Well, why? Wait. Let me ask you a question to that. Why, if the ACU already agrees with that position, why is it pay for play for David to express it publicly?
Well, there's ambiguity about whether or not those facts are in evidence.
Not based on my review of the record, there isn't. So.
Well, I said ambiguity, sir. I mean,
Okay.
Mike Allen clearly saw it differently, and I'm no fan of Mike Allen, by the way, so that doesn't make it so.
Okay.
But what I focused on was the letter, which is what I asked David Keene about, which he refused to answer. And the letter, unless you have the worldview of a 6-year-old, is very clear about what it's offering, and anybody who knows anything about ethics knows that that is over the line, especially when it is clearly ACU and CPAC's MO. That's how.
Wait. Let's talk about what. Let's talk about what we have factually. Why is it over the line for if an organization, the ACU, supports FedEx's position, period. Let's say that was true.
Well, we don't know that. But
I believe if they did.
Well, you must believe everything that they do.
Well, they were lobbying for it.
Jerome Corsi was asked to speak at CPAC last year, even though he's a nut job, who's a 9/11 conspiracy theorist, simply because they believe that he's a spectacular speaker.
You're really redirecting.
You must believe that too.
John, I'm not here to talk about Jerome Corsi. Why are you clouding and redirecting? Let's talk about this issue.
I'm telling you how CPAC works.
Well, I'm trying to show you that you're wrong, and you don't really want to hear it, so I don't know what to say. Will you let me?
What? I don't even know what you said there, but look.
I said, but I mean, isn't that kind of baiting someone to get upset with you?
That wasn't the intent, but I can certainly see how people might take it.
Okay, fair enough. Now,